Superficial scribblings on sexism. Superficial scribblings on live. Who the fuck needs criticism when I can always be right? If you weren't aware, that was supposed to be a parody of Morning in Ponyville Shimmers. It's kind of funny because I wasn't even thinking about making a parody of that. It just kind of popped up in my head, kind of improvised. Anyhow, my white privileged male ass can't even stop to criticize works, even on the good old Thanksgiving Day, where I have to give thanks to people. Yes, I have to give thanks to the feminazi social justice warriors who make people like me to be fucking vile and cruel human beings, and that they don't have any rights whatsoever. And that it's all just them cackling and complaining about fucking biology rather than fucking facts. Or gender, or anything of that matter. So anyhow, in my continuation to show how much of a fucking misogynist I am into Chapter 4 of Cuddle Pug's Sexism in the My Little Pony Fandom. An essay filled with lack of citation, generalizations, making conclusions to things that don't need conclusions, or adding howevers and all those stuff that doesn't really need any more to say about it. So, Chapter 4, No Woman, No Cry, a reference to a Bob Marley song, weirdly enough. Okay, and as usual with the other 3 chapters, it begins with an anonymous quote. And just like with Chapter 2, it is a brony female, but the age is not described, unlike where Chapter 3 and 1 had a male with an age. I'm going to assume that Chapter 5 is going to have another one of these so wonderful fucking quotes from a male brony, and his age will be specified. Let's read it. It was like someone smacked a big old Calvin and Hobbes style "No girls allowed" sign on the door before shutting it in my face. Really now? That almost sounds like that could be taken out of context. Like, this person could have not been a brony. It could have been somebody who liked Sonic. Any kind of fucking fandom, pretty much. A common criticism of the brony documentary Bronies, extremely unexpected adult fans of My Little Pony. Adult fans, you better get that part right. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure you're going to say, oh, it's a male fans only. Yeah. Was that it failed to represent females? Yes, of course. Of fucking course. Even though there was quite a few females in that fucking documentary that you just so happened to mention, but not going to go into detail, like as if you never even fucking saw it. It's like somebody criticizing a movie they haven't even seen. It's like, fuck. Goddamn Mockingjay Part 1 sucks. I mean, I haven't seen it yet, but God, I know it's gonna fucking suck. It's fucking bullshit, you know? Fucking, whatever. Bar a secondary mention of females in the song "Let's Go and Meet the Bronies" is true that the documentary failed to represent the involvement of females in the community. How did it fail? It was like, okay, it was supposed to be a fucking joke for starters, and it was fucking goddamn it's Tara Strong's fucking OC coming up and saying, yeah, we're going to represent them. It's like, oh, yes, of course. I mean, come on. Fucking Christ. For one, it was a joke, and 2, it didn't fucking fail at all. It was just kind of like, oh, yeah, because of a fucking joke, you fucking tits. Of the many people that the documentary focused on, there was only one female who received any major kind of exposure. So, pretty much by your mention, it did not fail to represent females. And, of course, you're going to take up statistics that, oh, it was one female against all these other fucking males. Fucking Christ. Unbelievable. I fucking hate the statistic thing where it's got to be 1 to 1, and that if anything goes out of that line, it's either fucking misogyny or misandry. That because there's not a lot of women in politics, women are obviously being oppressed. It apparently has nothing to do with the fact that women don't want to go into politics because they just don't want to. at all. No, they're being oppressed, obviously they're being oppressed and are not being motivated to be in positions of power, even if they're not even comfortable with doing it. Her role, however, was minor in comparison to some other case studies explored. Yeah, and she wasn't independent. The male in her story was equally as important as her, as they were using the two of them as an example of people within the fandom finding love and entering a relationship together. Oh my god. You know, it kind of makes me wonder if the fucking person who's writing this shit's actually sexist. That, oh yeah, there was this one female, but her fucking story wasn't significant. It wasn't important at all. Oh, she found love because of something as simple as a fucking show. Ooh, yeah. That's obviously fucking sexism, because a male finding his soulmate, or a woman finding his soulmate, is obviously misogyny, because we can't have fucking straight-laced relationships. Clearly. God damn, this chapter really fucking sucks, and I haven't even gone through the first page yet. No woman, no cry. The absence of female in the documentary has come under scrutiny already, yeah. And seems to be emblematic of the way in which males dominate the focus of the fandom, while females are resigned to mere footnotes and comments of, oh, and then there are some adult girls who like it too. Yes, of course. Whatever, because a lack of representation equals no representation, apparently. We have already established how exclusion is an issue, and that inclusion is also an issue. And when a documentary that is supposedly representative of a community enforces a sense of exclusion, how? How the fuck did it do that? How the fuck did that do that? The extremely unexpected adult fans of My Little Pony, not the extremely unexpected adult male fans or female, just adult fans. But of course, that's why you haven't even brought up the ages of these fucking so-called goddamn anonymous fucking comments at all. Where the females, the age doesn't fucking matter to you. It's just the fucking notion that, oh, even if this fucking comment was true, because that one woman said it, must be obviously fucking true. Clearly, yes, that it's representative, that all fucking women share the same plight of that female. Yeah, of course it fucking enforces exclusion. And I was just talking about how the community came about. Because the community is not gender-based at all, you fucking idiot. Despite being funded by people within the fandom, many of whom are female. Doubt it, but of course, straw man's and whatnot. It isn't difficult to see that there is a very real and very concerning problem regarding the role of females within the fandom. Because of that documentary, so to say, didn't represent females, right? Oh, there was that one female, but oh, she doesn't count. And, the thing she's going through, oh, she was in a relationship with a male, so she doesn't count, of course. She doesn't fucking count. Of course. Of course. Females do not appear to have an established role within the fandom. While there are some popular females, the bulk of the populars, musicians, hosts, site runners, and so on within the community are, like I said, apparently a lack of representation means no representation in this plight here. That, oh, well, these females have art and shit, but the male usually dominate the most of it, so obviously the females aren't being represented in this matter at all. No, clearly not. Clearly fucking not. Of course. It's all gotta be equal right here. It's gotta be all socialized in a way, right? Socialized? That's what you wanted. Socialized art? It would be unfair, perhaps, to criticize this if these people just happen to be more prolific in their respective... Yeah, of course that would be unfair. Because if these males happen to be more active in making artwork than the females, then it has fucking shit all to do with them being male or female. Of course. But no, I know what you're going to do. You're going to say it would be unfair, but in the end, it still matters, right? That's what you always fucking do. God, fucking asshole. But at the same time, there is no escaping that the work produced by the fandom is often through male eyes and given voice by males. Yeah, of course you were going to make that. I know it's always got to be like, oh, it'd be unfair to do that, but it's still a problem, because... Certainly, the way in which the documentary, which had a big enough budget to include males and females, had its own interest in allowing for males to dominate screen time, has revealed in some people planning at the time of writing a document that rectifies this imbalance. So, are you saying that when they made this documentary, made by males and females, you said that, right? Males and females, that the females and the males both agreed that males should dominate the screen time. That they were thinking about the gender and not about, what their plights, about their fucking plights at all. Not at all? Really? Because if it is a gender thing and the males and females are both doing it, then who the fuck is at fault here? And if it's not, then you are missing the fucking point of the documentary, obviously. The lack of a distinct for female fans is not unique to the documentary. Keeping with the theme of conventions, one female fan explained to me in detail that they have been instrumental in the creation of 2 conventions within the fandom. They explained, and this is a quote that I cannot take seriously since this person still refuses to tell me names. Unless this person has told this person that they want to be anonymous, I cannot take it seriously. This is all pretty much paraphrased or even made up for all I know. Anyhow, let's fucking read it. I have been involved in the planning of 2 pony conventions. I already made that conclusion, only to see female planners relegate to girl jobs like running art and cosplay booths, or the convention chairs, marketing people dealing with finances, etc. are all guys. Wait, so Tara Strong, a voice actor, sitting, Tara Strong and Ashley Ball, both on convention chairs, are not considering this plight, right? Odd for somebody to misconstrue that, apparently running 2 fucking pony conventions. All this, even when I was the one who brainstormed the initial convention idea in the first place. Doubt it! Check the con list of any pony convention and ask yourself for the girl side. I have over 15 years con experience. Apparently only did 2 in those 15 years, whereas the people I was passed over for had considerably less experience. The only part that's actually in sick, which means that it's probably taken out of context of other sentences, which is why I cannot take this fucking quote seriously. This is clearly a very worrying trend, if this statement was true. Assigning females marginal roles as if they are seen by some as being incapable of dealing with marketing. I don't know. Would it have something to do with them not generally being good at marketing, or is it their gender? Oh, gender, of course! For example, it's not only patronizing, but it's also not terribly fun for the people involved. It is awfully reductionist. That, you mean redundant, right? Because that's not a word. To assume that females can only lend their skills to art and cosplay, i.e. making things look pretty, while the males have to do the logical, logistical, bureaucratic work. Hold on, so you're saying that art and cosplay is a unsubstantiated thing? Even though that's like the biggest part of My Little Pony and the bureaucratic work. Why would you even need to do bureaucratic work in a convention anyway? Is somehow better? Because both of those things are kind of subjective to me in nature. If a woman wants to do fucking art and cosplay, fucking let her. That doesn't make her fucking oppressed. Are you saying, oh, well, even if these women don't want to work in fucking bureaucratic, we gotta make them. So give this false notion that, everything's equal, right? Here's a little fun fact. No one's made equal. Again, if these were just natural roles that males ended up in during the organization of conventions, it would be more forgivable. But it is! It is! So, where are you getting this fucking false equivalence from? God, a concerned organizer who contacted me is clearly seen in their own words, female planners regulate to girl jobs. Given their 15 years of experience, despite that they've only done 2 fucking conventions, apparently, in 15 years of having cons, they would know how conventions work, obviously. And the implication is that these 2 brony-orientated conventions have been more susceptible to sexism than other ones they have taken apart and organizing external to the fandom. And here is where I wonder if these were the only 2 pony conventions that came out at the time. How did they get more susceptible? It depends on if there was any conventions before then. I'm pretty sure it's not the only 2. There's a whole shit ton in different fucking geographical areas. Well, females are certainly going to be incorporated equally at some conventions. And then you're going to make your fucking narrative. I must reiterate that these are specific cases that are being documented here. That said, many of these cases could be representative of wider trends. If we do not report and comment on examples of negative behavior, whether they are isolated incidences or not, then we are merely accepting that inequality occurs with a tacit shrug of the shoulders without concerning ourselves enough to criticize it. Or, like what you're doing, pretty much what you're pretty much saying is that, oh, if a woman wants to do art and cosplay, she's obviously being oppressed. You know, that she must do bureaucratic work because it makes her more equal, because there's a lot more males doing bureaucratic work, and they're all doing it because they're male, not because they want to. So we gotta put some more females. You know, this whole statistical little thing going on here. So yeah, the same idea with increasing the pay wage of females, even though their pay wage is equal, is that they earn less because they don't want to work or work jobs that don't pay as much. But I can guarantee you that a female and a male working the same job at the same fucking level will get paid the same amount. So, yeah, like I said, it has nothing to do with representation. It's all statistics to these fucking cocksuckers. No fucking offense to people who actually suck cocks. Both women and gay men. Instead, it is important to acknowledge individual cases that dig beneath the surface to uproot the nasty underbelly of a fandom such as this one, in the hope that people with the wrong sort of attitude will change for the better. Or just make a fucking conclusion. And, you know, with no fucking evidence, but make evidence so that it seems more tangible. I've received multiple responses from females, I doubt it, within the community who have been sidelined due to being female. Yeah. Lacking a comprehensive role in all sorts of things. 4 people contacted me. Notice the part people contacted me and said that when talking about upcoming family games with males, they have been undermined as being unable to play with them because they would clearly suck at them. Wait, you just said 4 people, okay? You didn't say 4 females, so that line right there makes it more fucking hard for me to find legitimate. Because you just said 4 people. That's why I said the 4 people part, because I know you're going to say something that, oh, they would suck it on because they're female. Yeah, obviously. Maybe they'll just suck it on because they're just not any good at it. Others told me that during Skype calls with males discussing various things, they are often ignored. Well, are these people male? Because that would mean it's not sexist. Points they raise are shrugged off or do not receive a response, and males have repeatedly demonstrated their reluctance to listen to females with the comment, "You're a girl, so you don't get it." Oh, God! Fucking, I'm not gonna even go into detail of how out of context that could possibly be. The real injustice of it all is that many females were initially elated by the sound of the friendship is magic phone. One individual commented, could be male, could be female, I don't fucking know, but of course it's still gonna be sexist anyway. When I first heard about bronies, I was thrilled, being an advocate of gender transcendence and metrosexuality. Finally, I thought an equivalent male-to-female fandom to equal comic books. I was content to fiddle about on the fringes, feeling great because, hey, we're all equal in the anonymity of the internet, right? And even better, my very first fandom was gaining a new lease of life. I grew up with G1, and the whole pony phenomenon of the 80s was an integral part of my childhood. Even better, the new My Little Pony fandom seemed to be the most creative one I've ever witnessed. Pony-themed original music, thoughtful episode reviews, and the dissection by online critics. More fan art than you could shake a stick at. AMV is such an on-model fan anime. I was joined to be a part of it all. Cool. Great for her. But obviously it's sexist, right? Of course. But the weird part is that in the first part of this paragraph, I wonder if this person's feminist because she's saying, oh yeah, it's equal male to female anonymity. That, that there's an equal amount of males and females enjoying it. And that's obviously equality. That apparently you can't have equality without everything being 1-to-1, side by side. However, they went on to explain to me that while this was the idea that the fandom attempted to project reality as far as however they went on to admonish. Okay. I don't know if I can keep doing this. This is a really bad chapter against all those other ones. What I landed on when I was summarily told that my childhood fandom was a place I was no longer welcome. It was like someone smacked a big old Calvin and Hobbes style "no girls allowed." Huh, that sounds like the same fucking quote from above. Odd that you still have yet to mention their age, name, where they said this, when they said this, and who responded, or the attitude it came from. Saw it on the door before shutting it in my face and pouring on where I could hear and beep at the action through the window, but not partake. When I observe them interacting with each other online, everything is hunky-dory and everyone seems happy. Introduce me and my lack of Y chromosome to the mix, however, and those same proud fans go sour faster than milk in front of a heating grate. Well, it's pretty inconsistent to the few chapters before where apparently when a female is on a chat site, the males will try to drool all over them rather than getting stars like, oh my god, a girl on a fucking brony server? Oh my god. Yeah. Another user commented, male or female, I don't give a fuck, let's just make it sexism anyway. I and other fans in my position can see all the fun to be had and desperately want to be a part of it. However, it's hard when the moment you mention your female, other fans turn nasty. Who said it? Who gives a fuck? I could just say, yes, this person's absolutely fucking right because they said it and obviously it's fucking true. Just believe the narrative. Come on, guys. Just believe the narrative. Turn your mind off to logic and reasoning. Just believe the narrative. The ideology. Everything's an ideology. With some females, there is evidently an imbalance in the fandom that comes due to not being male. In all facets of the fandom and in any online space connected to it, females have been marginalized for no reason other than the fact that they do not compromise this male side of the fandom that has seized control of it. Or you have created a fucking narrative. Your little ideology where you just see statistics of all things, and if something's not 1-to-1, it's sexism. That, a fucking documentary that has one female, everything that they go about, her little experience with the brony fandom is fucking consequential. Because she dated this male guy and she was attracted to him. So that was sexism because we can't have fucking traditional marriage roles. We gotta be all fucking metrosexual and gender bend all the time because we want fucking attention. And and anything that deters from that is obviously fucking oppression. So, that was fucking chapter 4. And I have to say, out of all the fucking chapters I've had to sit my fucking white privilege ass through, that was the most fucking inane. And I am getting close. Getting so close to understanding why I am a privileged white male who can't stop oppressing Nigerian children because they're female. And we're about to hit towards the conclusion, which, surprisingly enough, actually has bibliography on, pretty odd, considering that, bibliography, you're supposed to make, notations. Huh. Odd. We might want to read those, too. Because that might actually add some context to these fucking comments, as this person has yet to have ever possibly make a fucking citation towards. And I was thinking that the last 2 pages would be like, fucking like and fave and subscribe this piece of shit elsewhere. God. Well, I hope you enjoyed how much I had to blow my fucking brains out. At least this fucking video was a lot shorter than the other ones, because it was, the chapter was shorter, and fucking, it's just too much to fucking take with this one. Hopefully I'll be able to make it. Maybe I can still be a white privileged male and possibly make it through. That'd be great. That'd be so great. I'll see you guys all later.